They'll start on the ground with Swift.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Brand, I wonder if someone's down there checking on the head coach right now because he might be in a little bit of shock after what just transpired. Instead of a lengthy opening drive to deal with, his guy stepped up and stole that drive away. Momentum on their side now. How will they attack on offense?
Give him 3 on the gain there. Second and goal.
That's good power football on first and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Barkley again. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone.
They lost 4 there, and it's third down. Here's Barkley. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. So on now the field goal team for Philadelphia. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick here is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Their second drive here, the ballgame charge. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On play action, they'll throw.
That pass caught. It's Williams.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
Let's go! First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
On first and 10, it's Swift.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Right back to Swift again on second down.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Taken down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route.
And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Here we go.
Back to throw. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Throws out left. It's caught by Williams.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. He's at the 30. 10, 5. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
They were in a very good position to come up with a go-ahead score there. A really good drive. Instead, it turns into 6 points going the other way. Psychologically, I don't know what that's going to do to them.
So as a coach, you're looking at that as at least a 10-point swing, right? Because they had the field goal in their back pocket.
They certainly did, and you're right. At least a 10-point swing, maybe more.
This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13.
Hurry!
Looking to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. He'll look to throw.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
You always think about picking up the first down, but in this case, they were thinking about something bigger. They were thinking about the home run shot and took it downfield. Unable to connect, but admire the effort.
And certainly not the greatest of kicks there. This one will be down inside their own 40-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Up the middle with Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Nothing to score after 1. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it 2nd down and 12. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It will be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Back to throw here. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown.
Well, it's only week 1, CD, but right now this offense, they look in mid-season form.
And what we're seeing is the benefits of all their dedication in the offseason. OTAs, mini camps, preseason, you name it, they did it. All that work in preparation, we're seeing them play really well right now. They're making it all pay off.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey.
And the Eagles are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 43 yards on the ground. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They'll go to Barkley again. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
41 yards rushing for him now to this point.
This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides to be thrilled with that.
The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Derwin James with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 25 yards.
And the Eagles are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half.
Lions, nothing.
The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, you know, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. On play action, it's Bridgewater. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Play action now. Bridgewater. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
A loss of 5. It's 4th down.
Bridgewater to throw for it on 4th. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Eagles defense able to hold. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And We've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
The end result, 21 yards.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Mike Hughes.
And the Lions are going to take over here up near the 40. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. They'll drop the throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll go with the keeper, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half.
Lions, nothing.
Four seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Their own 19-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
Final play of the half, Bridgewater. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
The Eagles send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Let's go now.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Cat through 11. Cat through 11. 7 Pirates. 7 Pirates. Hurry, hurry. Ready.
They'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete.
On the move past the 40.
And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Good yardage yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They're going to look to throw.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
Shreds him with a stiff arm.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. The full start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Again, he'll drop to throw. Open man right side is St. Brown. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal.
Back to throw again. And now here is another interception. Derwin James with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Airing it out deep for Smith.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Mike Hughes.
Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception's really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Now back to throw. And Shark calls it in. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Rolling to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Dancing to his left, and the pressure gets to him again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
He's airing it out for Williams. And in for the Lions touchdown.
Jamison Williams,
47 yards.
and the Lions' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Riley Patterson now for the extra point.
And the lead drops from 34 to 27.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. 3 yards on the pickup. Second down.
He was brought down at the 28-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. 3rd and 7 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
A dime look defensively for the Lions on 3rd.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
83 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
19 tight, 19 tight.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the...
Ready.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
70 Ranger, 70 Ranger. Hudson.
Back to throw. And he rifles one incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On play action, they'll throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. The open man is sharp. It's complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. 1st down, a bit of a disaster. And now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
It's now 2nd and goal.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Go.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
79 Broncos. On the goal. Now. 19 Lions.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Trayvon Walker in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Come on. Hey.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt. And the Eagles defense able to hold. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless and take care of the ball on the way out.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's got his big tight end here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Derwin James with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the
Touchdown, Eagles! From 17 yards out.
And the Eagles are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Well, CD, I mean, simply put, if anyone around the league wasn't paying attention to them to start the season, they will be heading into Week 2. This has been an impressive Week 1 performance.
They've certainly announced that they are ready to go, haven't they? They wanted to send a message out to the rest of the league. You better put your eyes on us. We may be someone you have to reckon with.
The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into Week 1 because they have not been.
And now here is another interception. Derwin James with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. And with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And this is going to be intercepted.
And the Lions are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
Here we go.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit.
DeAndre Swift,
An 80-yard touchdown.
and the Lions get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Charles, they had 6 DBs out there. They were thinking pass. They surprised him with a long run.
I wonder if they saw that and just checked to it. Maybe had an audible and said, you know something, against 6 defensive backs, let's run the football. Let's get our big guys downfield and match up with the littler guys and see if we can create some space. And not only did they create space, they created a path all the way to the end zone.
And he will get in for the 2 points to get this back to a 3-score game. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Looking deep downfield. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Now the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
The score, Eagles 48, Lions 15.
The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing. Swift is hit, and he coughs it up.
And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Now the try here for the point after. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Another not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it. But you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop it.
A 7-yard line.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Hawkinson crossing the middle and bringing it in.
And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
They'll try it now with Swift.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a pass hauled in downfield. There he goes, right side. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown.
And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football. That deficit stays right where it is. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted.
And the Lions are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
And my goodness, another interception. Derwin James with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
They'll take over first and 10 at the 24-yard line.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. His throw incomplete.
Up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion.
And now here is another interception.
Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
The number 7 usually lucky here for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a...
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. They'll look to throw. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is. And I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Elsewhere in the NFL, they're in the 4th down in New Orleans. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A win would be their first of the young season.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. It's caught at the 5. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their...
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking... Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete.
I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here, trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, Just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Williams brings it in. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Well, this opening game has certainly not gone their way to this point, but that touchdown, maybe a glimmer of hope for the long season ahead.
And no one in this league likes to talk about moral victories. No one likes to really just say, okay, well, maybe something went right. But you're exactly right about that. A little glimmer there, maybe they can carry it over moving forward.
So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up.
The onside kick is recovered by Philadelphia.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking here for Smith downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the action,
that's caught inside the 20.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record, but everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for Philadelphia, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals.